Welcome to our webinar, What to Expect at Red Raider Orientation. We are so excited to have all of you joining us today. My name is Christine Self with Parent and Family Relations, and joining me today is Zach Manning from Orientation Services. This webinar is part of our Red Raider Family webinar series, where we share information on topics of interest to parents, families, and supporters of our students. We hope this webinar will help you get prepared to attend Red Raider Orientation with your students this summer and learn what to bring and what to expect. We will share some information about next steps, but this webinar primarily focuses on attending Red Raider Orientation. Don't worry, there are other webinars focusing on topics like financial aid and tuition billing, living on campus, campus safety, and others planned this summer. We plan to keep this webinar to about 30 minutes or so. If there's time at the end, we'll open it up for questions using the Zoom Q&A feature. In the meantime, feel free to type your questions in throughout the presentation. We do have some great folks behind the scenes working to answer those questions for you. We are recording this session and posting it and the slides to our website so that you'll be able to review it again later or share it with others. We'll also email the recording link to the email that you used when you registered for the webinar. So let's begin. So Zach, what exactly is Red Raider Orientation?
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Self. Orientation is going to be a great time for everybody involved. It's specifically designed for our students, your students, to make sure that they are meeting with their academic advisor, registering for classes, feeling comfortable and confident in their decision to be a Red Raider. And they do that by meeting with current Texas Tech students, by exploring campus, staying the night in the residence hall, eating the food, experiencing the rec center, and so much more. But for parents and family members, this is your opportunity to become even more informed about how you can support your student while you're at home, whether that be right here in Lubbock or across the world. And you can continue to support them as they're a student here at Texas Tech. And so we want to make sure that you know everything about what is provided to your student here and how you can continue to support them in their unique experiences here at Texas Tech. So we really encourage you to attend if you are able to. If not, we completely understand, but we want to make sure that you are ready for your student to be a Red Raider too. And so a few of the things that we want to make sure that you're encouraging your students to do before Red Raider orientation is to remove any of their holds. These holds include academic orientation hold, which that hold will actually be removed during orientation, but housing. If they haven't taken care of housing, I know housing is getting pretty full. So whenever your student is going in to register for housing, they'll likely need to contact our university student housing. Another one is immunization records. And so we'll need to make sure with our student health services that those records are submitted prior to orientation. And last but not least is our Texas Success Initiative, or TSI. Make sure that's taken care of. That one will specifically impact the courses that they can register for during their time at orientation. Another thing is to check that Texas Tech email daily. Just go in there, log in, check it out. If they haven't checked it yet, please encourage them to do so. They've got a lot of reading to do. There's been a lot of emails sent to them about what's going on here on campus and what to expect during orientation. And last but not least, complete their Red Raider orientation online modules. That's available in the same system that they registered for orientation. And so on the left-hand side, it'll simply say online modules. They can complete those. It takes about 60 to 90 minutes. They don't have to do it all in one sitting, so they can come back and finish it. But please make sure that is done before they attend orientation. That's what the students need to be doing right now. Christine, do you want to talk a little bit about parents and the Red Raider Family Network?
Absolutely. So you have some homework too. So make sure that you are registered for the Red Raider Family Network. Very likely you are if you've joined us here for this webinar. But there's much more to do in that network. So log in frequently and check out the information that's posted there. You will start receiving a monthly newsletter from Parent and Family Relations, just kind of keeping you informed of what's going on and ways to support your student. You can finish setting up your account. There's a green button on your screen when you log in. Just take a few moments and answer a few questions, and this will help you receive emailed updates based on your interests. Also, once your student's enrolled, you can use the Red Raider Family Network to request access to student records once they're enrolled. So that's really exciting. And we'll talk a lot about this Red Raider Family Network and how to use it during Red Raider orientation. So Zach, can you talk to our attendees about what those guest fees are and what they cover for folks who are attending.
Yeah. So as a father of four, I'm always wondering, what am I paying for? And I know y'all are too. But the guest fee during orientation, we want to make this experience as great as possible for you, because we know this is a family decision. So as you can see, for adult guests that are 8 years and older, it is $50 per guest. That fee is non-refundable. For children 7 and under, it is free. But I will say we don't have a lot of programming for children 7 and under. So please note that they are welcome, but we're going to be spending a lot of time focusing on your student that is starting here at Texas Tech. But for guests, that covers materials. That includes your plastic tote bag, your clear bag, so you can use that for athletic events. It includes day one dinner. We're going to have some fajitas. We'll also have breakfast on day two. You have a unique Texas Tech parent and family T-shirt that you'll get to wear proudly whenever you go back home. We have a social for you on the evening of night one you'll hear about, but an opportunity to have a beverage and just relax, as well as parking, staffing, administrative, and other technology costs that go into putting on Red Raider orientation. So that's exactly what that orientation fee covers. Many of you may already be registered to attend orientation. If you're not, that's okay. You can still register up until the week of your student's orientation session.
Wonderful. So here's some schedule highlights for you. You will receive a complete printed schedule when you arrive at Red Raider orientation. You can also get a preview on the Orientation Services website. So here's some highlights again, some things that you as a parent or family member are definitely going to want to know. So we've got check-in that begins at 10 a.m. on day one of your orientation session. During check-in, your student's going to receive items that they're going to need during orientation and have the opportunity to get their room key for staying on campus during orientation. It's important to note that families and guests will need to arrange for hotel accommodations. Zach already mentioned that you're going to get a clear bag. This is great because you can bring it to family weekend or other athletic events because our stadium has a clear bag policy. You'll also use that bag to gather all the great items that you will pick up during your orientation experience. You'll need it for all the goodies you'll grab at the Red Raider Family Session and the Campus Resource Fair. There's also some really great sessions on day one morning and afternoon. So there's opportunities for your students if they need to work to get holds removed. We have the wonderful welcome session for both you and your student. Then you'll head off to a college-specific welcome. So, for example, if your student's going to be studying in the College of Engineering or the College of Human Sciences, you'll have a welcome session just for you and your student. Then we'll have Red Raider Family supporting your student's transition. And that is a session that's hosted by our office where you'll learn about your Red Raider support network here at Texas Tech and important conversations to have with your student before the fall semester begins. We definitely want you to come by there. After that session is the Campus Resource Fair, where you'll be able to visit with a lot of those folks who are part of your student support network. And then there's several different breakout sessions that you can attend. So take a look at those. You can talk or you can go to a session about financial aid and financial matters, how to pay the bill, et cetera, with Student Business Services. There's some sessions on first year success, first gen experience, study abroad. There's also a student organization fair if your student wants to get connected with one of our many student organizations and others. Then, as Zach mentioned, you're going to have a great fajita dinner with your student. And then after that, students are going to go off and do their own thing, but you are invited to the Parent Family Social at the Mackenzie Market Alumni Center. This is just a great time for you to relax and unwind, pick up your orientation guest t-shirt, enjoy some beverages, and meet other Red Raider family members and just have a little bit of fun. So that's the highlights of day one. Zach, do you want to talk about day two?
Yeah, of course. So as we get started, we're going to have breakfast in our student union building. So if you ever see Sub, that's our student union building. We'll get started in the ballroom there at 7:45 a.m. Your students will be picking up their student ID at that time. And then we're going to start preparing for registration. We'll get started at 8:30 a.m. You can see the picture there of our Sub Allen Theater. We will start there. And then from there, students will be dismissed to their academic colleges. Parents and family members are welcome to go with them. Please note that academic advising varies by college. Sometimes you're right there in the room with your students. Sometimes parents and students are separated. But please note that we know that you know your student better than anybody else. and you can be that advocate for your student. But due to space constraints, we might have to do it a little bit differently. But no matter what, you are able to connect with your student's academic advisor before you leave campus. It may just be a little bit later on in the day. We're also going to have a one-stop shop where you're able to do a number of different things, and that includes talking to financial aid, to business services, learning about jobs on campus, connecting with parent-family relations, and also going on residence hall tours to kind of see what exactly it's going to look like for your student here on campus. Students will stay in a very traditional, either Wall Gates or Hugh and Clement residence hall during orientation, but they can also view other rooms if they're staying in a different hall. That's all from 10 a.m. to noon. And again, those individual meetings with financial aid, student business services, and military and veteran programs, those will take place from that 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. time. Again, if you want to take care of that now, I definitely encourage you to do it, but you will have that opportunity to do it during orientation. We'll close with a few things. One is orientation checkout at Jones AT&T Stadium, the home to our Texas Tech Red Raiders. You'll have an opportunity to get on the field, take some pictures, and just make sure that y'all are ready to go home, right? We have one small parting gift for you, but we want to make sure that your student is ready to be a Red Raider, that they've registered for classes, they've gotten all their holds removed, and they're confident in their future here at Texas Tech. So we're going to close up shop with that. And we'll also have library tours. If your student wants to learn about one of the many resources that are provided to them as a student, they can do a library tour from noon to 2 p.m. On that second day of orientation. With travel, please don't make plans to leave prior to 2 p.m. Just because, we want to make sure that everything is done. Your student is registered, holds are removed, confident in housing, have their student ID. And so we know that sometimes questions will come up, but I know some of you might be traveling from different distances and flights might be involved. Definitely recommend a flight after 2 p.m.
Great. And a number of locations have been mentioned in our talk so far. So I wanted to show you just a little overview of where some of these locations are. So you can see where the Student Union building is, as well as Hugh and Clement or Wall Gates. That's where the students will be staying during orientation. And then you can also see on the map, the McKenzie Market Alumni Center. That's where your social will be at the end of day one. The only thing that's not pictured on here is Jones Stadium. That's going to be north on the north end of campus. Texas Tech is a big campus, so we'll talk about that and in our what to bring section here in just a moment. But this is just an overview of where the main locations where you'll be during orientation. And so let's talk about parking.
All right, so I know many of you are parking. Maybe if you are flying in and getting a rental car, that's okay. We are going to send your student and you a link to sign up for your vehicle. Your students, if they're coming to a Sunday, Monday, or a Tuesday, Wednesday orientation, they'll be staying in the Wall Gates Residence Hall. If they're coming to a Thursday, Friday orientation combined with the Red Raider Camp, they'll be staying in the Hugh and Clement Residence Hall. So all that parking is combined there on the south side of campus, and that's where you'll be parking. Please do not park in any other lots. Those are reserved for Texas Tech faculty and staff or other students. And again, you'll receive that email. Please be sure to do that. You can also register your rental vehicle once you get that license plate. Please note also that ADA parking is permitted across campus with a proper license plate or placard. And so please note that we know that it's a big campus, but if you do have those needs, you can park much closer to the Student Union building.
All right. So Zach, can you talk to us a little bit about what students should bring with them to Red Raider orientation?
So first of all, bring a great attitude. I'm just kidding. We are very excited to have you and your students on campus. So make sure they're prepped to learn and explore campus. But most importantly, they do need to bring that government issued ID, and that will be used for their student ID pickup. If your student does not have a government issued ID or they forget it at home, don't worry. The ID office will hold on to their student ID until they move in August. A laptop or tablet for course registration. This is not a requirement, but if they feel more comfortable with their own laptop or tablet, please bring that. So on day 2, when they register for classes, they're ready to go. They're going to be staying on campus, so bedding and towels for their staying in the residence halls, again, either Hugh and Clement or Wall Gates. Those are twin XL sheets, so it's also a good practice run for what life is going to be like in the fall. Kind of get a taste for living in the residence halls, staying the night there. And then also, any athletic attire for when we go to the night at the rec center, swimsuits, anything like that. Also, maybe a light jacket in case they get cold, a hoodie, sweatshirt, something like that. But be prepared to walk around campus. I know Christine's going to talk about this, but make sure your students are ready to walk campus too. Christine, what about for parents and family members?
Yeah, so here's some suggestions on what to bring as a parent or family member. So if you need to have that individual consultation with financial aid or military and veterans programs, it's a good idea to have with you some of those financial documents that they might need to visit with you. Casual, comfortable clothing and shoes. Again, we've kind of touched on this, but Texas Tech is a very large campus, depending on what college your student is in. There might be quite a long walk to some of those locations. So just please be prepared for that. Expect summer Texas heat, right? It's going to be hot. However, some of our meeting rooms can be quite cool. So I really just want to encourage you to wear layers. Be prepared for hot weather outside and maybe a chilly meeting room. We like our air conditioning here at Texas Tech. This is kind of a reminder for your student as well, but if for money for meals that are not included in orientation, and then just a note that dining locations on campus are cashless. So be prepared to use a card to pay for any additional food or drinks or things that you might need while you're here. And then what about just some general overall things to expect as a parent or family member coming to orientation?
Yeah, so there are times where you are going to be spending, I mean, most of the time you will be with your student. But there are times where we do split up students so they can start experiencing time on their own, talking to other students, connecting with them, hearing from our current students. So sometimes you'll be together, sometimes you'll be on your own. But your student is going to be meeting a lot of new people in their academic college with similar majors, students from across campus, students from across the state and in the world. So it's going to be a time for them to really start creating those connections that are so valuable for them when they move in. They're going to meet with their academic advisor. This is really important because that academic advisor is going to review maybe their transcripts from dual credit, their high school transcripts, maybe if they're transferring in anything like that. So make sure that your student is prepared to ask questions in that academic advising. Make sure they're prepared to speak up and maybe address any situations they have concerns about. And then for parents and family members, again, you are involved with advising, but it does vary by college due to space, due to timing. But no matter what, you will have an opportunity to speak with your students' college and academic advisors during your time at orientation. Your bill, there's nothing you need to pay as far as tuition and fees go during orientation. Tuition is due 3 days prior to the start of classes. So classes begin on August 25th. So that bill will be due on August 22nd. And again, you're not going to get anything in the mail about that bill. So make sure your student is checking their Texas Tech email. That is where they will receive that at late July and early August.
And what about Red Raider Camp?
Yeah, and I think I saw a question come in there with Keith. And so Red Raider Camp is an excellent opportunity for your student to learn even more about Texas Tech University and the history and traditions here. And so if your student is staying for orientation and camp, they do not need to check out of their room on Friday afternoon. They'll stay in the same room for Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. Keith, I know you had a question about July 10th through the 13th, and that's what this is pertaining to. Red Raider orientation and Red Raider camp. So your student is going to explore campus. They're going to have fun, as you can see that picture there. We have some activities over at Jones AT&T Stadium. There's bell circles. There's leadership challenges, but it's a time to get connected with other new students who are coming to Texas Tech, learn from current students, and then also just feel more confident in campus and confident in their time here on campus. And so they're going to explore campus, make new friends, and have a lot of fun. For parents and family members, I really want to encourage you to further explore Lubbock. Nobody knows your student better than you, and you know their interests. So go find, where's a place for them to go, get some coffee, study, restaurants they might like. We also have some great museums, wineries, vineyards, restaurants all around town for you to experience while they are doing fun things with camp. Please note that we also have a lot of parents and family members who will leave their students after orientation and have them get home on their own. So that's up to you. And if students are interested in attending Red Raider Camp, we still have availability there. We do have over 1,800 students already registered for camp, so it's very popular, but there is still some space available if your student would like to attend.
Well, I want to encourage you not to leave Red Raider orientation without these three things. First of all, don't leave without asking questions. There are plenty of opportunities built into the schedule for you to ask questions, whether it's from our staff, the orientation services staff, or folks over in the colleges with your student. I can tell you from experience in working with families during orientation, families really take advantage of and love those opportunities to go over to the colleges, whether it's the college welcome or the session on day 2 that's, kind of giving you the inside look of what advising is like. Use that time to ask questions. Be sure that you connect with our staff. There are 4 of us. You'll get to know us during the session for families on day 1, but we'll be around at the social, we'll be around at the checkout time, we'll be at the one stop. Please connect with us. We are your team on campus to help you navigate this transition to becoming a college parent here at Texas Tech. And then use those opportunities as well. When you're over at the colleges or when you're at the Red Raider Family Social, meet other families from your student's hometown, meet other families from your student's major. Those are going to be important connections for you. So don't leave without doing those 3 things. And what about your student? What should they be doing as we're, preparing for orientation?
Yeah, so again, make sure your students are checking their Texas Tech email regularly. They're going to get a lot of information from orientation, from housing. Their academic college and advising is going to start reaching out to them there. But also, as much as that's important, also getting involved, finding how you make a campus of 41,000 students feel smaller. What student organizations are they getting involved in? Is it undergraduate research? There's so many opportunities. So they're going to be learning about that. So make sure they're checking their Texas Tech email. And again, make sure you're part of that Red Raider Family Network. I know Christine has talked about it, but that's an excellent opportunity to really stay connected with what's going on campus and make sure you know about the resources that we have provided for your students.
Wonderful. So let's talk briefly about some next steps. So we want you as a parent or family member to visit our website and bookmark it. We will be posting these slides there. I know some of you have asked about the slides. We have our future webinars posted on there so that you can register for those. We have one coming up. I know Zach mentioned TSI earlier and how important it is to get that hold removed. We have one on what families need to know about TSI and Raider Ready, 2 ways that your students can, get ready for their first semester here at Texas Tech and beyond. We have a webinar on tuition, financial aid, and scholarships coming up in early June. Campus safety is always something on families' minds, so we've set up a webinar on campus safety on June 25th. And then academic success at Texas Tech. What are those resources like? We have a webinar for that as well. And there's even more. So again, please go to our website, bookmark it, visit it frequently. A note on Family Weekend, that's going to be coming up September 24th through 26th. If you go to our website and click where it says Family Weekend, it's October. Oh my goodness, we have a typo. Thank you for identifying our typo. It is definitely October 24th through 26th. You can purchase those football tickets now. If you're interested in coming, we suggest you go ahead and purchase those tickets. They're going quick. Family days. If October 24th through 26th is not right for you to come visit campus, we want you to visit whenever it's convenient. So we have a family days calendar on our website that lists lots of great things for you to do while you're in Lubbock. And that calendar can also be used while you're at orientation. So Zach mentioned a little bit earlier that if you're coming to one of the sessions where your students go into Red Raider Camp and you're going to be in Lubbock for a couple extra days, use that calendar. We've got lots of great things that you can do while you're here in Lubbock, and we'll mention some of those at our session that time. All right. So some more next steps, thinking about move-in for your student. Here at Texas Tech, we call it Tech-In. So students will receive an email from University Student Housing about signing up for a time slot for moving in. And the time slot program will open for all students on June 3rd. So that's coming up pretty quick. So again, encourage your student to be watching that email. You can also visit the housing website for specific information related to Fall Tech-In. And, think about your students move in October 21st. They may have opportunity to move in a little earlier if they're involved in things like band or fraternity sorority life, etc. But students move in August 21st, classes start August 25th. So what is there to do in the meantime? Raider welcome. There's lots of opportunities for students to get together and meet one another. Many of these events have free t-shirts, free food, all of those things to just really help students get out of those residence hall rooms and out meeting others. So encourage your student to take part in Raider Welcome. All right.
And as y'all have questions, our website is a valuable resource. As you can see there, www.orientation.ttu.edu. Email us, call us 806-742-2993. We are here Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a team of students who are happy to answer your questions. They were in your student shoes a semester ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. But then also our professional staff, Miguel, Allie, Fabiola, Catherine, Brenda, everyone is excited to welcome you to Texas Tech University. So give us a call. If you're social media savvy, go check out @TTU Orientation. We have current students who provide all sorts of insights on what to expect on campus and around Lubbock. So it's a good way to learn more about what we're going to be doing here during their time as a student at Texas Tech.
Well, thank you. Well, we have a few minutes left. We've already answered some questions in the chat, or sorry, in the Q&A feature. But if you have others, we would love to get those answered for you. So please get in that Q&A section and send us your questions. I do want to reiterate, Family Weekend is October 24th through 26th, not in September. And then I have seen, again, lots of people putting in the chat, will we get these slides? Absolutely. We will post these slides on our website after I correct that typo. So what other questions do you have?
I was going to answer a few of those. A question came up about housing during orientation. Your student is assigned a room when they check into orientation. So if they have a friend they're traveling with and they want a room together during orientation, they'll just need to make sure they go through and line together, and they'll both get put in room 101. And then they'll fill up room 102 and 103 and so on. Housing for parents and family members is not provided, but we do have hotels that provide special rates for our guests. And so you can check those out. That's the Overton Hotel and Conference Center, which is right across the street, as well as the Cotton Court Hotel, which is right down Broadway from campus. So they do have that. Then another question came up asking about the schedule. So again, orientation is a day 1 and a day 2, right? That's either Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. If your student is doing the combined orientation and camp session, that is a Thursday, Friday for orientation, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning for camp. And so our websites have quite a bit of information on there for you.
Zach, Allie is typing an answer to this, but can you tell us more about, again, what students need to bring as far as linen? Someone has asked, do they need to bring a pillow as well?
Yeah, I would consider it like moving into the residence hall. They can, some students will just bring a sleeping bag and a pillow, some blankets, sheets, whatnot, but they are XL sheets. And we also have a list of what to bring on our website, but I would bring towels. Sometimes those rooms can get a little chilly, but towels for, showering, towels for the pool, but then also blankets to stay warm at night. So really anything, consider it like they're moving into the residence hall in the fall. How do we know when move-in is for our student wants to rush? So Sarah, that's a great question about fraternity and sorority life. I know they have some specific dates about move-in, but I would reach out to them specifically to get that question answered.
And then a question has come up about guest fees. How do they pay those?
Great question, Cindy, and I did not address this earlier, but the guest fee does need to be paid in advance. Your student's Red Raider orientation fee is automatically added to their incoming semester's tuition and fees. So the student will not pay anything in advance. So guest fees are paid in advance. Orientation fee is automatically added to their fall tuition and fees. The other piece is Red Raider Camp. That $225 fee does need to be paid in advance. And then I know I've seen a few questions coming up about TSI. TSI, those scores do need to be submitted to our registrar's office. Now, your student might be exempt, but if they were admitted through the test optional policy, then that means that we don't have your test scores. So we just need those test scores sent in. They are working through that. If you can imagine, there's thousands of students submitting scores. So they are processing those as fast as they can. And once that score has been received and evaluated, the either hold will be removed or the hold will be updated to reflect any required coursework during their first semester here at Texas Tech.
I see a question here about spending the night in the residence hall during orientation. Is that required or optional?
It's highly encouraged, Heidi, because our students, as many of them are spending time on campus, it's a great way to experience it. I know some students will not be living on campus in the fall, so this is kind of a time for them to see what it's like in the residence halls and learn about that. But we are doing activities late into the evening and early in the morning, so it's easy that way they're not late to day 2 activities. What other questions do you have there, Christine? Sorry.
Someone has asked, could you review the process for rooms and roommates again when students are checking into orientation?
Yeah, so if your student wants to room with someone else, with a friend, just make sure they go through the line together. Housing will hand out keys to the rooms as they come through. So we'll fill up room 101, then room 102 and 103. So they'll just need to make sure that they're in line with their friend that they want to room with during orientation.
Then we have one about there is an orientation that coincides with Father's Day. Is there anything special going on that day?
Yep, we're doing orientation on that day. As a father of 4, I've had the opportunity to spend quite a few Father's Days here. We do try to make a little special recognition to our dads. Sometimes we have some something kind of fun put together. But yes, I know that it is Father's Day, and I look forward to spending it with some of our dads. Have those dads bring their dad jokes. That's one of our favorite things to see.
We love dad jokes.
So bring those.
Bring them to the parent family social as well.
There we go. There we go.
Dad can have a drink at the social.
Yeah.
Another question. This is about vaccinations. Are they required before orientation?
Yeah, so not necessarily required, but you will have an opportunity to get an extension. But if you already have that information and those vaccination records, submit them now. It'll just make everything easier. If they're not submitted before orientation, you've got to talk to Student Health Services to get an extension. And if they're processing extensions for a lot of students, that could impact your student's ability to register for classes. So if that's information you already have, your student already has, please submit it as soon as possible. And that's really the case for all of our holds. If you can take care of it now in the month of May before orientation, do it. It's just going to make everything less stressful for you when you get here.
All right. Let's see. Got some questions about TSI. Again, TSI, if students need help with TSI, we will work with them at orientation to tell them exactly what classes they need to register for based on their TSI scores. I also highly encourage you to attend our upcoming webinar with TSI and Raider Ready. They will talk a lot about exactly what TSI is and how it can help your student. And then a question about where do we submit vaccination records?
Yeah, so another resource that your student has access to is our admitted student task list. That's got a long list of everything they need to do prior to enrolling. I think I saw another parent ask about, do they have access to that? Yeah, sit down with your student, go through the admitted student task list. But on the task list, it has information about our student health services and how to upload those records through MedProctor. Please note, MedProctor, you do not need to pay for MedProctor. You can submit your records, your students' records in there. You do not need to pay for that.
And then I see a question here about parent access, maybe through the Red Raider Family Network. Does it tell you what's needed for orientation? The Red Raider Family Network FERPA access gives you kind of big picture items. It is not going to go into the details of what needs to be done for orientation. So again, Zach mentioned that admitted students task list. Your student has access to that. And I would encourage you to sit down with your student and take a look at that task list so that you can make sure that you have everything ready to go. We are out of time, but you can still type your questions in. We will still continue to answer those behind the scenes. But I want to thank Zach and I want to thank all of you for attending our session today. You can see on your screen, we've got a really quick survey for you. There's a QR code there that you can scan. We'll also email the link to this survey for you. We just want to hear from you how we did. And also our contact information is there for you. Please do not hesitate to reach out to Orientation Services for questions about orientation, or email Parent and Family Relations for questions about anything else related to being a parent, family member, or supporter of a Texas Tech student. So thank you once again. We look forward to seeing you this summer. Zach, any final words?
Yeah, just come ready to learn. We want to make sure that you are prepared to support your student when you go back home so they can be successful here. And know that if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We want to make sure that that you are ready to go, that your student is ready to go. I know one question that has been brought up to me a few times now is orientation dates. Those are available based on academic college and major capacity. So your student will see different dates based on their major. And so when they log into the system, they can always change their date too. It is a live system. So if students maybe decide to go to another institution and their spot opens up, your student could move in there. So that's just one thing I wanted to address real quick. Thanks, Christine.
Well, thanks everyone. Again, we'll stay on for a little bit and keep answering your questions. Have a great rest of your day.